Alright folks, what is up? This is One Big Bug and I am coming at you with League of Legends, and this is an unsung hero of the Aram series. No, I haven't had a chance to do a live recording today, much to the pity. Just things didn't work out that way today, so I apologize for that. I haven't had a chance the last couple days. I wanted to bring you one video, one of the two videos where I actually finally, for the first time ever, successfully backdoored on an Aram, once with Vi and once with Gangplank that I was using that crit plank. But neither one recorded, I guess, and whatever the case may be. So I couldn't bring you either of those. But I found this one, which I actually played just a little while ago. And this one I'm playing Kennen, and you know, this is kind of how I view myself when it comes to champions in in Aram or Summoner's Rift or whatever. I'm a jack of all champions, master of none. That's mostly true for how I feel. And, in other words, I know the basics of each and every champion. I can use their abilities somewhat effectively. But I have not mastered any single champion, except maybe for like Nautilus and Sejuani. You know, those could be the two exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, I don't feel like I've mastered any single champion. You know, I'm not particularly good with any champion. Don't know what I'm delaying for. There we go. Now I'm buying. So I can use any champion efficiently in most cases, but not very skillfully. And I was actually really nervous when I picked up Kennen, because Kennen, he's not exactly a high skill champion, but he's definitely can be a high risk, especially consider one of his abilities, you pretty much got to get in and right on top of your enemy, and you know, the little cocaine ball, which is mostly used for farming, but in Aram you can use it effectively to deal quite a bit of damage. And another reason I wanted to bring you this, because not only have I don't think I brought you a Kennen gameplay, and this Alistair does this quite a bit. He'll walk down this side where the sigil comes. Here, I'll use the mouse. He'll walk down here and then he'll go this way. Pretty sure he couldn't pull the headbutt pulverized combo, so that's why he was doing that. He's looking to knock into the wall, which I think actually gives you a longer stun, and then pulverize. But as you can see, he was taking quite a bit of damage just to pull it off. So right now Darius is hurting pretty much, but so is Alistair. The drawback is that, of course, Alistair can heal, where Nami can heal Darius, but I think it takes a little bit longer. Garen decides to go gung-ho for whatever reason, and I actually pick up the first blood. Now, in this one, I actually believe I'm leveling... I don't know. I forget which one I'm leveling first. You know, that Alistair, he wasn't bad, but I think he was... I don't know how to explain it. He was actually pretty good for the things he was trying to do. I don't think his team would follow him up very well was the problem. But either way... But going back to what I was saying, the main reason I wanted to bring this to you is this turns into a 4v5 rather early, and is my team that is the 4, as I believe it is Teemo that will end up DCing. Yeah, I am actually leveling my Lightning Rush, I think it's called. Is it my E? Yeah, Lightning Rush. Which, in hindsight, I should have actually leveled this Electrical Surge, because that can be a main damage dealer. Even Thundering Shuriken, you know, is a good poke. So I'm pretty sure I was leveling the wrong one, but I wanted to be able to use the cocaine ball. Sorry, somebody called it cocaine ball one time, and it's stuck for me ever since. I've been wanting to use it for a while, and unfortunately Darius is going to die here, but we're 2-1 right now, so it's not terrible. Alistair stays a little bit too long, and he takes quite a bit of damage for that, but there's not much else we can do. But This is another game. I don't carry like I did on the Heimerdinger game, and believe me, again, my team played a large part in my ability to be able to carry, and the enemy team, practically ignoring me at times, played a part in that as well. But I actually do fairly well in terms of playing Kennen and using my Lightning Rush and my ulti to a fair effect by basically not being afraid to try and get in on the enemy and actually zap them with Lightning Rush and then following up with Electrical Surge. Excuse me. Not exactly sure what Nami's trying to land on her bubbles throughout this one, but anyways, my masteries, of course, are 21-9-0. Full AP offense, and then a little bit defense, armor, magic resist, health regen. Unfortunately, Nami takes it out there, but I get Tristana in return, so 2 kills for me so far. Not bad. Garen is going gung-ho again, and I immediately just use my ulti, which I just got to help stun him under the tower, and that allows Darius to pick up the kill. Bit of waste of my ulti, because Garen probably would have died anyways. Yeah, Draven picks up Teemo, and that's basically because Teemo was standing still. I believe this is the point where he DC'd. And Draven just, not Draven, but Darius just trying to stand and do as much damage as he can. Actually does a fair amount. Unfortunately, my cooldowns meant I couldn't do much. Tristana jumping in, not getting anything out of that, fortunately. Nami ulti, I'm not exactly sure what she's hoping to accomplish, but I almost get Draven, but then Lux is able to pick it up with her laser, so that was a good shutdown. I don't know what Nami was trying to accomplish. Oh no, Teemo has not DC'd yet. That was my fault. So 6-5 right now. We're close to a 1K lead in terms of gold. Not quite sure how that pans out, but there you go. Maybe because we got the shutdown gold off Draven, I'm not sure. But yeah, I haven't done much in terms of today. I've got a backlog of games that I'd like to catch up on, and I'd still like to do the live recordings. It's just going to be a matter of time as they move in and then immediately back off. I'm not exactly sure why. Tristana goes down to a quick swipe. And Garen, not able to pick up the kill, gets taken out by Lux, and Alistair forced to flash away. Zed goes in hard and just murders Teemo. Just insta-dead, but you know, what else can you do? And when it comes back to champions, it's something I've recently noticed is Lux tries to pick off Draven, but it's not quite enough, unfortunately. Yeah, but when it comes to, you know, I've just started noticing that there's not a champion I can't use. It's just a matter of how good I can use them. You know, you can say, well, that's like true for everybody, so I actually go in with my ulti, and Alistair was actually out of it as Tristana knocked me away, but then he came back in and got stunned, and that allowed for 2 kills to be picked up. I just decided, you know what, I got my ulti, I'm going to go gung-ho here, and that's exactly what I did. But, yeah, what it really came down to for me is I can use any champion. I know their basics, I know their skills, I know their passives. It's just a matter of being able to use them well, and that's where I have problems, because I don't like focusing on certain specific champions, which is what makes most players really good. You know, they have their pool of champions that they're really good or really strong with. And I don't have that. Just one moment. I apologize for that. I had to take care of something real quick. Not a big deal. But, yeah, it's like most players, especially in the higher ranks. I mean, I know that a lot of people, you know, will pretty much play anything, but especially if you watch the tournaments, you have each player that has champions they specialize in, that they're really good with, that they prefer to pick, and that they actually get purposely banned, just to keep that champion out of a certain player's hands because that player's just that good. And I don't get that, as I have no idea what Zed was thinking, but he died for whatever it was. I don't do that because I don't like to play any single champion continuously and consistently as I as the Draven ult shaves the hair off my ass. And I ulti in there trying to get Alistar and I can't, but Nami does pick him up. And yeah, there we go. We're able to pick up Draven as well. I thought this turned into a 4v5 much earlier than this, as I know that Garen's looking to get me, but fortunately he uses his ult on Nami and his decisive strike on Teemo, so I was spared being killed so far. Although at this point in the game, about almost 10.5 minutes into the game, I need to die because I've only got the Amplifying Tome, Duran Shield, and Boots. So my damage is becoming less and less effective. And I'm going to get completely obliterated by Tristana there. Kind of sad that it happened that way, but I was glad when it happened because that means I could finally go back and buy. And they're just going to try hard tower dive, and that's not the smartest move. Darius he's going more offense than defense, but he's still pretty strong. And not enough to kill Garen, but they manage between Lux and Darius to push them back off the tower. As you see, I'm coming back. I've already got Sword Shoes, and I've got Zhonya's Hourglass, so I had quite a bit of money sitting, waiting to be spent. And I believe, I don't know if that's the same Amplifying Tome or if I picked up another one. But a bit of damage, but not too much. I was just saying earlier, I don't like to stick to any one particular champion. I like variety. I like playing different champions. I like doing different things, which, if you consider the fact that I only jungle when I play Summoner's Rift, is kind of an oxymoron, but if I could effectively jungle every champion, frick, I would. I love being in the jungle. I don't like laning, mainly because, I don't know how to lane very well. And when you lane and you lose, which I often do, you gotta suffer the people being jerks. No matter how hard you try, and I immediately jump in with my ulti, and I'm trying to Zhonya's, and I finally get it. And Draven gets badly hurt, and I manage to take him out with Lightning Surge, and then Nami ult helps me get away from Alistar as will he live? It looks like Garen just went ham and ended up paying for it. And I don't know exactly what Alistar and Zed are thinking, but they're not going to take the tower like that. And almost picking off Alistar with Final Spark. It's like, if I could get a Lightning Rush, maybe I could catch him, but then I look and go, nah, he's too far ahead. I'm not going to be able to do that. So I just resigned to letting him go. And wanting to duke it out with Zed right there, I actually pick him off with the Lightning Rush. But then Draven's going to kick my butt, so I barrier and flash away. And he gets taken out by Darius. And unfortunately, Darius gets taken out in return. And I'm going to be downed by Garen and shut down again, giving up a double kill to Garen. So yeah, I just don't want to suffer people raging and yelling and all that. That's why I play Aram as much as I do now. Because not only do I get to play a variety of champions, but I don't have to worry too much, because if people start getting toxic, if people do start getting mad or angry or start being jerks, the matches really aren't that long. And yes, you can ignore people, but it still doesn't help when you're doing really, really bad and your team is suffering for it. So I haven't taken the time to learn too much how to last hit, or how to top lane, or how to mid lane. I can actually hold my own in mid now. I don't know why. I actually do better in mid than I do like solo top. But for the most part, I just like being in the jungle because it's actually less responsibility and less pressure. But again, variety. I just like playing different champions. I like playing champions for fun and just blasting in with the ulti there, and people making the mistake of staying in and then following it up with a beautiful Nami ulti that pretty much hits everyone. I want to survive in the tower, but it's just not going to happen. And I'm actually right now like pinging like crazy. There, you see it. It's like hello, hello, kill Zed. Zed's low. Kill Zed. I know I didn't follow on the last one. I'll follow on this one. So I'm leaned back in my chair is why. And unfortunately, Zed and Garen do get away momentarily, but it doesn't last as Zed gets picked off. And at this point, it has become a 4v5. Teemo is now officially gone. And still, my team has a nice lead, and I guess that really helped us keep up the pressure on them and still be able to win despite it being a 4v5. 28-13 with about a 4+ K gold lead right now, so not bad at all. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to say really, as I chunked the hell out of Tristana. I'm starting to realize just how much damage I can do to her in just so few moves. I'd love to have my ulti right now. I don't have my any cooldown reduction, which is something I usually like to build on AP casters. As you see, I just zip in, I clip Tristana, then hit her with Electrical Surge, and she goes right down. And it was kind of funny because it's like I sniped her off in the middle of everybody else. So I do have other games that I'm going to be bringing you. Of course, I recorded. I got a Sona one. I've got a Nami one. And Alistair's like, I'm going to take this because I have my ulti. And I'm like, no, you're not. As I ulti right in front of the tower. And fortunately, Darius comes back. Nice hook on Garen there. It's going to be the end of him. As we get a shutdown. And Alistair trying, you know, he's actually doing really good for what I call an old school Alistair, as Zed is trying to get away, and he's actually going to reverse direction on us, but he's not going to make it. I'm just going to duke it out with him, and I'm barely going to win, but I win either way, so that's all that matters. When I say old school Alistair, I mean an Alistair that doesn't do the headbutt pulverize combo. I'm talking an Alistair that walks up and pulverizes, or the headbutts you in a single direction and then walks up and pulverizes you. And Garen chasing me from that distance, and I'm like, no. Yeah, he chased me that far, man. It was, and then poor Nami gets caught, but she didn't need the barrier there. But whatever, she survived, and unfortunately we lose Lux on that one, but it was a good thing Lux died because she gets to go shop. Now I'm able to come back. And a nice hook and just plenty of damage going out, but unfortunately we're not going to be able to follow up as the rest of the team comes in and cuts us off at that point. Yeah, but I actually had a really good Nami game. If there is a role outside of jungling that I do excel at, it is support and playing supports. I do know by heart now which supports counter which supports, you know, who's best to use against what combos, whether it be, you know, ADCs or whatnot. And that became evident in the game I'd actually like to bring is I do a nice ulti and just I get everybody in the ulti, and then the Lux Laser picks off most people. And then I'm just looking to try and get around Zed so I don't die. And not sure what he's trying to do, but I actually pick up the double kill on that. So that felt pretty good. I think that was the best ulti I got in this whole game. So, you know, that felt it felt really good. Unfortunately, I will follow it up at some point with a very terrible ulti, which is very common for me. But yeah, when it comes to supports, You know, I know them by heart. I know them inside and out. And unfortunately, Tristana will be able to get me before I'm able to get executed. I should have moved on that sooner. So I wasn't too happy about that. But what is what is. You know, became evident anyways, just saying is, played a game with Ciderhelm recently, which I really enjoyed and had fun with. I played Leona. I supported a random fan bot lane, and quite honestly did terribly as Leona, even though Leona is one of my strongest supports, because I believe they had Nami on the other side. I forget what their combo was, Nami Varus. It would actually worked really well. I think it was like me and Caitlyn. And we just did not do well. We did not do well at all. But I made up for the fact of doing terribly by the fact that I warded like crazy. I warded so much of the map as I just run over Tristana and kill her with just lightning rush now, as I have so much ability power. And there's not much magic resist on the other team either. Alistair has a fair amount, and they do have an Aegis, but that's pretty much it. You know, I see Merc Treads in there, one person, and you know, other than Alistair, so that's about all the magic resist they have. So that Void Staff's working really, really well for me. Trying to push down their towers is just not working. And yeah, here's that terrible ulti. Extremely terrible ulti, but I do get some damage on Tristana. And I don't know what Tristana was thinking, but she just got zapped out. And but when I looked back at the combo, I apologized to the ADC and I said, I'm sorry, I'm not doing well. You know, it was blind pick, so there wasn't much else I could do. I said, you know, if it had been draft, I probably would have gone Lulu, because Lulu is a good counter to Nami. Man, they want me bad. Yeah, Draven just got Lux lasered to the point blank face. Just died. And Lux takes out Alistair. It's like, they're so hopped up on getting me, they just got blown up by Lux. I'm not overly scared of Tristana. If I can get in range of her, I can probably kill her without much problem. But yeah, when it came against going against Nami Varus, I said I probably would have gone Lulu. Lulu's a much better counter to Nami. I don't even think Leona is a counter to her. I think she actually does a very good job in countering Leona. Soraka's kind of an even footing with Nami, so I'm not sure about that, how that would go. But yeah, definitely Lulu. Lulu's probably the best choice when you're going up against a Nami in every form. About the only support that I can't use effectively is Janna, who's honestly the most popular support in the higher ranks, I believe, other than Thresh. And zap! Instant double kill. And even though I went down in this fight, you can see that it's done at this point. Well, not quite done. There's still more, but the fight's done. The problem is in the 4v5, the only guy that we have that can effectively push turrets is Darius. He's the only one that really has true damage when it comes to our team, and even then, he's tanky. You know, so he's the only one that could have true damage, but he doesn't. He's very tanky at this point. But I have finished up my Rabadon's Death Cap, so I am now sporting 504 ability power. And I believe I was looking to make my last item, Leandri's Torment. Very typical build for me. And I want to get in there and ulti. I pick up the Health Sigil so Garen can't. And Garen's just going to run, and I get frustrated. So I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm just going to ulti and kill you. That was really a waste of my ulti, though. It was really poor. I could have used it here much more, especially for defense of the tower. But, you know, we had that good enough lead that, you know, we managed to keep it snowballing fairly well. Unfortunately, this tower finally will fall. But Darius has returned, and their minion wave's not here. They're pushing against super minions, so this is really going to go against them as Zed takes a ton of turret damage. And they're chipped pretty bad right now. This was not really a good idea for them. And there we go. Final spark. All that's left is Tristana. She can leap and grab all the hell she wants, but it's not going to do her any good. She is by herself, all alone. I've done that a couple times. I've actually come out of the cocaine ball a little too early, and because I've somehow like reactivated or something. Garen does spawn at this point. Tristana jumps away because of who's there. I just Zonia's to try and bait her into something. I have no idea what, but you can see it's done. It's over. Despite it turning into a 4v5, we still managed to keep the pressure up. We had enough of a lead that we kept it going, kept it snowballing, and in the end we were able to push through another victory. And, well, I did pretty well on Kennen, considering I almost never play him. 14-5 and 24. Only beaten by Darius, who was 19-7 and 26. So, really not too shabby. Like I said, I know the fundamentals of each and every champion. I know their abilities, how they work, and how they interact. It's just a matter of using them effectively. That always becomes the issue, of course. So that's going to be it for this one, folks. I know it's a little different take on my usual commentary, but it is what it is. I hope you've liked it. If you have, leave a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. If you haven't, leave a thumbs down. Tell me to go screw off and subscribe. I'd be happy for that. Until next time, folks, this is One Big Bugger signing out, and I will see you next time.